Hi, I'm David. Welcome to another episode of Changing Times. Our guest is Darren Lawrenson. He is an executive coach and personal development mentor. Please enjoy and stay safe. Hi, Darren. How's everything going?
Yeah, fantastic. Challenging times, but fantastic. Thank you very much.
It is, but for everyone that's watching, tell everyone who you are and what do you do? What is your business?
So my name is Darren Lawrenson. I'm a principal consultant with a company called Dasala Limited, which I own. And I've been working as a executive coach, a facilitator, leadership developer, and use a number of different ways in helping people to develop themselves, really, from one-to-one coaching, as I say, from board development within public sector, and work with some quite impactful people across the UK and Europe in business, really, and helping them and challenging them to be, and I know it's a cliche, but the best that they can be. Yeah, absolutely love what I do.
That's amazing. And I know from when we've worked together, it's always been very positive and as little time we spend each other, you always give that little nugget of of something.
Well, I'd love to say that they're my thoughts, but I've stole them from books, from CDs, from seminars, from people like yourself, from Amanda, from Norrie, from some of the guys that you've got on the channel, that really powerful individuals. I think that everyone has a nugget, and I suppose if anything, I just own some of them because that's how my mind works. Just little impactful statements that resonate with me because I can hold on to them and remind myself of them.
Oh, so obviously with everyone going through this pandemic and we've all had to basically just stop and the uncertainty and everything, how has that impacted on your business? Because obviously I'd imagine you're very much a one-to-one type of person and stuff. How has all that impacted on you and has it limited now the work that you've got?
Well, the methodology I use is a number of different ways. I do public speaking. I do some of the retreats in Cyprus. I write for Lifestyle Magazine in Liverpool. So certain aspects of my business has changed and shifted.
Yeah.
And in some ways, it's got far more intense. The first couple of weeks of lockdown was fascinating because I had a diary that was full for the coming 4 weeks. And overnight, it just completely stopped. And at that point, I just went feral. I went back to being 13, staying up late, listening to music. And just at a bit of a loss of what I was going to do. And let's be honest, it was frightening. It was quite nerve-wracking. So from a work perspective, it stopped. And I thought, you know what? Just give my clients a few weeks to reset, because I think everyone was in that same place.
Yeah.
And it really has been a journey, hasn't it? So then first few weeks were quite impactful. I was a bit of a loss. And then the world started to move a little bit more, and then technology kicked in, etc., etc. So listen, I only work 80 days a year. I work 2 or 3 days a week, and I've done 15 years. I set some goals way back when that I didn't want to be, a slave to the cash. Unfortunately, I was in a position where I didn't need to. So to answer your question, I sat back for a few weeks, looked how the world was spinning, and now it's resetting itself again. So it's changing. There's no doubt about that, and it's developing.
Well, that's it. And obviously you've had to reset as well on what you were doing. So did you have time, did you get a chance to reflect on what the business was and where you got it to, and seeing maybe little problems that you go, I didn't see that then, but now I've seen it. I want to do that for the future, and have you been able to plan for the future?
Well, I think to be absolutely frank, it was less around how my business was. It was more around how I was. Okay. And I'm still reflecting. I'm still in that period of understanding what's important to me and reminding myself of what's important to me and being sure that I'm true to my own values. because, it's very easy to go into panic and then try to fix something that might not need to be fixed. So, my business is me, and the way that I work with people. And that will change, and I'm really okay with it. I was looking for change.
Yeah.
I was very much ready to reset and reevaluate, and I'm still doing that. So from that perspective, from a selfish perspective, it's been fabulous to give me that space and time. But to think about looking forward, I'd made a decision not to look forward too much, and certainly not to look back. When we do the retreats out in Cyprus, we talk about being in the moment, being present, and I've really been practicing that. So I've had a journal at the side of me where I write my thoughts down.
Yeah.
And I think that if we look back too much, or if I look back too much, then I'm comparing, and I don't think that's a good thing. I don't feel that it was helpful to try to look forward too much, because that gave me uncertainty and anxiety, because none of us knew and none of us know what the future will look like. And I just thought that it was more helpful for my mental well-being, my own state of mind, to really look at the present and say, what am I happy about now? What's working well for me now? How's my health? How's my well-being? How's my exercise? How's my diet? So if I'm being honest, David, it was less around work. Yeah. It was more around keeping me strong and keeping me energized.
And I think that's the key thing, isn't it? There's one person that builds an empire, and that's the individual, and that person's always got to be at the top of their game.
Yeah.
And over time, have you obviously adapted to the technology? Did you use technology before, or have you used it now and think this is a good tool because I'm getting to more people at a time in a day?
Well, you know what? It's quite funny, isn't it, that we do things out of habit. And, I was of the opinion that my work was always better delivered face to face because of nuances in body language, in reading people's mannerisms. When you ask a really emotive question of someone when you're coaching, it's not always what someone says that gives you indication of where they're at. It's what they don't say. So I was of the opinion that face-to-face was critical. I've definitely reset that now. I think technology has an extraordinary place for my work and for my world. And what I hadn't realised was just how intense coaching is over Zoom or any technology medium, because you're really focused on, the gateway to people's soul, which is the eyes, because you're really looking at someone for an hour, eyeball to eyeball. What is different is I don't get as much energy back from technology. Face to face, you can have a bit more of a crack, more of a, off-piece conversations, I think. So I think technology is extraordinary. And I've had to manage and moderate the volume of work that I do that serves me best. So in the first few weeks, I say, I was a bit, in lockdown. And then I opened up to a few clients, and I did 31 coaching sessions one week. So that's 31 hours face-to-face, intense meetings. And also the things that people wanted to describe and discuss were far more intense than we've discussed in the past. Yeah. So the sessions were more intense. The medium made it more intense. And I was bloody exhausted by the end of the day. So I did 5 days that particular week. The week after I did 28 sessions. And then I realized, you know what? Using technology is fabulous, but I'm not drawing as much energy from it. No. So I'm now doing 4 or 5 sessions a day, 2 or 3 days a week, back to as I would have worked before technology was impactful. So, it's technology amazing. I don't need to know how it works. I haven't got a bloody clue how it works. And that's been quite frustrating. But actually, the medium, as we're now describing and talking, has been fantastic. So, yeah, big place for technology in the future, I think, for my business.
So, you just said that could be a big thing. Do you think that's going to be the way to go now. I know from my personal opinion on it, it's going to be something that I'm going to use on an initial meeting. Instead of traveling somewhere to go,
Yeah.
this is what I can do, this is what I can sell, this is what you'll benefit from. All that can be done on here. And I suppose on a coaching perspective, if it is like you're one end of the country and the client another, it is so much easier now just to go click, and you're on, isn't it? And
it is, but I think you know that brings in different challenges. You've got to be disciplined. You know, you've got to approach work as work, not just something during your day. So your preparation's different. You know, as I say, my diet's changing because I'm getting energy from food, and I've realised that buying quality is so important. You know, I'm not convinced I used to eat that well. I thought I did, but just buying quality produce, managing your sleep, not becoming feral. So yeah, I think from a one-to-one perspective, this medium is fantastic. I'm not a futurist, so I don't know how the future will look for all of us, but I do know it's different. And I think that, if you've got an office full of people, why do they go there every day? Why do we work 9 to 5? Why do we work 5 days a week? I mean, it goes back to the Industrial Revolution, and yet we're still living like that, in the 21st century. And you think, well, why is that? So I'm looking forward to see how it plays out, and I'll embrace it. But I don't think I'm in the mindset to drive it forward. But I certainly will respond to how people want to use it, because not driving as much has got to be a good thing. How many hours do we lose on the motorways? Pounding up and down the road, getting in exhausted at the end of the day. So yeah, it's definitely going to have an impact, and I'm interested, quite perversely, to see how it plays out for myself.
It's a strange opportunity, isn't it? Now that everyone's like kind of outside the box looking in, and I'm just waiting for someone to go, well, this is how I'm doing it, and then it'll be a knock-on effect, won't it? So when you're talking to clients and stuff, because obviously people are going to be watching this and they're going to go, how can Darren help me, or what can I get? What is the common thing that you're finding when you're talking to clients that you're proactively trying to help with?
Well, I think that what I've tried to do with clients is ask them a question about, are you thriving or surviving? Now, we can all survive for a period of time, but this is a prolonged period of time. This is life-changing for the globe. This is life-changing for our country. This is life-changing for the village that I live in. This is life-changing for me. And I want it to be life-changing because, there's a lot of times where we're just that busy on the treadmill, running really hard, really fast, trying to buy stuff. I come across, there's times where we're trying to buy things, to impress people, to show that we're doing well. And actually, I've never signed up for that for many years. So I'm where my mind is now, it's that people are really trying to get into that thriving. And part of that then is pastoral. And part of that is how you're looking after yourself, not just your business, not just, the things around you, how you're looking after you. When I work with people one-to-one, I always do mind maps, and I put the individual, like you, David, in the center of the page and draw all my thoughts and your thoughts from you. So the intensity shifted because people are more interested in how they get through this and come through this well. So I think that thriving piece is really important. Discipline is important. Being kind to yourself is critical. And also on a big strap line, I have all my goals and my ambitions and my drivers on my fridge. And I took them down because I thought, it's not helpful for me to look forward to things that I might not be able to get in the short term. And I just put in letters, don't sweat the small stuff. And what I find is that a lot of people sweat the small stuff. And this moment in time, this pandemic, this life-changing impact is to say, what's important to you?
Yeah.
And I'm finding that, and I'm loving the fact that people are looking and thinking family, friends, and a business that supports people. But there's only so much we need, you know, to really embrace life. There's only so much we need. So I think my clients are coming at it from very similar positions, but you've also got the interesting thing for me that you've got outgoing people and more reserved. A lot of the outgoing people are finding it difficult not to have those connections with friends and clients, etc. A lot of the reserved people are really, really happy, you know, sitting at home, cracking on, doing the job. The challenge for them is to turn your computer off. You know, there's no benefit doing 12-hour days just being strapped to your laptop.
Yeah.
So there's a balance between personality styles, industries, but a lot of it is pastoral and about really looking after ourselves, I feel.
Have you been able to put anything in place that you didn't have, like new business ideas, new courses, new exercises? Has it given you that time and that thought process that you didn't have, but being able to do that to do in the future, or are you just concentrating on the now?
Well, I think it's a great question. And to be honest with you, the last part of the questions for me, very much focused on the now, reinforcing what I do. I mean, I've always appreciated the fact that, you know, listening to people, really listening to people, digging deep into people's psyche, understanding people's values and their drivers and their motives is really important. And now more than ever, I'm not a trainer, so I don't run courses necessarily, because I'm more into learning than training. I don't want to tell someone what to do. I want people to work out what they should do for them. So no, it's more of the same, and, you know, enjoying and appreciating more of the same. But as we've said, I have no idea how the future pans out from a delivery perspective.
Yeah.
But technology will definitely play a part moving forward. There's no doubt about that, David.
No, it's a completely fascinating time, isn't it? For everyone, and I bet everyone in every industry is feeling the same. Mm-hmm. Are you concerned if it carries on if it goes any longer for anyone in business, and how they can possibly get over that hurdle?
I mean, make no mistake, this is cataclysmic potentially for some businesses, and some businesses will go out of business, and some businesses will start. I've got a friend who has been in telecoms for 25 years, and unfortunately for him, he lost his business. He lost his job in business just before the lockdown. Didn't get furloughed, and within 12 weeks, he set up a new company doing fogging and desanitization of premises and businesses, and is now looking to recruit staff. His business now didn't even exist 12 weeks ago. He hadn't even given a passing thought, and now he's got energy, he's motivated, he's inspired, he's setting goals, he's got objectives, and that business didn't even exist. So there's going to be some massive winners and losers through this, as there always is. But what this is doing is putting a magnifying glass on it, because it's happening instantly for a lot of businesses. So if you're adaptable, I think if you've got the ability to be resilient, if you don't hold on to the past too much, your past is for reference, not residence. You don't live there. It's for looking at and recognizing that there's some impactful things that we want to take forward. But if we spend too much time looking as it used to be, that'll paralyze us moving forward. So I think that change is inevitable, and it's happening now. And I just encourage everyone to adapt as quickly as possible to the new normal. And I know that becomes quite a cliched word, because what's normal today might not be in 4 weeks. Yeah. It's a really changing feast. So go with the flow a little bit. Don't be too rigid into how you think things are. Be adaptable and responsive to requirements. You know, business is only a business if someone will pay you for your service. If your service is now not required, that business has just changed. Yeah. So you better be sure that you change accordingly.
No, that is really true and a very good anecdote, isn't it? Really, but if you are not getting it, it is not a business, and there might be call for either adapting it or changing it. So for everyone that's watching and we want to get to know Darren a lot more and how we can get your help, where can they find you? How can they get in touch with you?
Well, I live in a field currently, so you could come for a walk and just sit on my front like everyone does, and we just have a chat every day as part of the exercise routine. Alternatively, you can email me at darren@dasala.co.uk. I'm on Twitter, Dasala Darren, at Facebook, all the regular social media aspects. Or you can just pick up the phone, get in touch, and give me a call. If I'm not available, it's because I'm either watching the koi carp, going out for a walk, reading something, or listening to music. But I will call you back. There's no doubt about that.
No, that's brilliant. And for the message that you want to, the final message that you want to get across to someone that is in that uncertainty and like think that they can't adapt and stuff, what could you say to that person?
Well, I think first of all, you're okay. You're okay and you're safe, and you will be okay, and we will get through this. Tough times never last. Tough people do, and we need to build those inner truths for ourselves. I think don't sweat the small stuff, and then the next question is, what's the small stuff? Pretty much everything. And I think wrapping all that up is be kind to yourself. You're not a human doing, you're a human being. So enjoy as best you can this time and be you. You're good enough.
No, that's brilliant. And thank you so much, Darren, for doing this and being a part of Changing Times and sharing your knowledge.
Well, thank you genuinely for doing this. And I think that the more people we can get talking about the possible, the bigger impact we'll have for ourselves and for the communities we live in. And David, I wish you all the best and your family and your mother, and hope everyone's well.
No, we are. And thank you so much, and we'll speak soon.
I look forward to it.